Should be fine.
Twinsies.
All right, guys, this is going to be a little difficult. Can't connect to the internet on the.
This will actually be like. This actually looks like it will work.
Yeah. So we'll just wait a minute or two till everyone comes in.
I'll just hold.
We got our awesome shirts, our tour shirts.
You will not believe.
You tell me.
$6
For a soda.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. At the
Yeah.
cafe downstairs?
Yeah.
How is that possible when our pasta is only like $12?
I don't think our pasta was just $12. Hi guys and gals. Seneca, how are you?
Hey, Seneca. Listen, the way the internet works here in the hotel, it is just not possible to use the video camera because the internet on the video camera won't allow us to log in the way the hotel has us log in. At least that's something.
That's what we assume.
That's what we assume.
Can you hear us all right?
Yeah, if you guys let us know how we hear. Just pop this up a little bit. Hey, Seneca, Greg, Michael.
Seneca.
Hotel Wi-Fi is whack always. Yeah.
Well, it's like anything else, right? They give you the Wi-Fi code for your computer, right? So we're on the Westin St. Francis internet, right? You know, for your computers or whatnot. But the camera itself is not internet connected, right? Like it's just not an internet camera.
You have to. I'm sure you guys have been in hotels before where you click on their internet, their Wi-Fi, then it takes you to a page where you have to log in with their credentials, and there's just no way to do that on the video camera, unfortunately. For when we are in Hawaii, though, I do have. We will be able to do that because I will be able to set it up as a hotspot from my phone. Just did not have enough time to do that today.
How's everyone doing? Great. Hello, everyone. You know, my eyesight. Let me get my glasses. Wait a second.
There you go. I just rolled over my toe, Potter.
Hi, everyone. NPK 765 fan. All right. Gregory, how are you? Yeah. Welcome, everyone. This is fabulous. Thanks for being here. So we're using Steven's computer, and we hope the connection doesn't go away. But
so far, so good.
Thanks for joining us. This is really, hey, Bryce. Hey, John. Thanks for joining us.
The audio is good.
Everyone.
So it's great.
Good. Yeah, that's fabulous. We had a little rinky dinkies. So, you know, before everyone logged on, I was like, oh, I just want to go get down and get a soda. It's MD soda.
MD, yeah.
And
you could say it.
How much did I pay for this? $6 for a can of mountain something. Mountain poo.
You could call it that. How about this? You said that, and I want to take a quick survey. It has nothing to do with the Naval Park, but it has everything to do with soda. Everybody across the country and across the world really call it something different, right?
Sure.
So we want to know. We both Shane and I call it soda because that is the correct way to say it.
But people in Buffalo usually say pop.
So we'd like to hear how you guys say it.
Or if you're from the South, it might be
just Coke. Yeah,
just Coke.
So how do you guys say it? We got a pop already, a soda. All right, we're gonna let you guys talk about that, and then we're gonna
be pop and soda, man.
Yeah, I know. It is.
That's the way it is. Anyway, yeah. So thanks for being here. Hopefully, you've been checking out our live session, our impromptu live sessions. This is what a whirlwind trip,
and it's only half over.
Not really, right?
Not even.
Oh yeah, tomorrow would be halfway.
Tomorrow will be halfway. So
I guess. So Monday. So we left Tuesday morning. We crossed the border at the Peace Bridge and went to Bay City, Michigan to see the USS Edson. The video will be coming. We talked to Bill there and Chantel, and they were a great place. Right.
Just so welcoming. And, each naval park is a little different.
Yeah.
But it's just, the Edson was great. The Slater is always welcoming. we hope that we like to think that we're very welcoming, and I think that we are.
We try to be.
But
Yeah, we do.
each place is different, but it's the same.
E-
As far as
the-
the love for the ships, the love for
the
the job,
story.
the passion.
Yeah, so our mission is to like learn about their volunteer crews, learn about their maintenance. Obviously, with the Sullivans this year, it's been rough, and it's put a lot of eyes on us. Most of it is positive, but there's some negativity out there. But so we really got to learn about the Forest Shermans, how they have their tour route set up, what people can actually see and what people can't see. A little bit about their events, and it's ussedson.org is their website. From there, we spent the night in Bay City, Tuesday night. We got up early and we drove to Chicago, right? And so we arrived in Chicago probably around noon or something, and we went right to the the Museum of Science and Industry, and we met Ken Stano from History X. I hope he logs on. I don't know if he will be able to, but thank you for being here. It's a Saturday night for many of you, probably. And we got to meet Vola, who is Vula. Okay, thank you. Who is one of the curators at the museum itself.
It feels like it wasn't the other day, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was Wednesday.
Yeah, but it feels like it was like a week or two ago.
Yeah, it feels like about 7 days. Fabulous exhibit there. If you haven't seen it, I would absolutely recommend you go there. I mean, the whole museum is huge.
Yeah, and I mean, we really didn't get a chance to do the whole museum. It's a bigger, a city type museum that you would see in New York or DC. It is huge, massive, and we really just got to tour the one wing.
Yeah. I mean, so first off, they lead you through these wonderful vignettes of models and very modern mannequins and holographic technology of how they actually captured it. Then you walk around the corner and boom, the bow is, the point of the sub, the bow is like 5 feet away from you when you roll the corner, and fabulous. So we did a session with Ken, and Ken is working on that. We did about a 45-minute session, and he's working on that one because that was done on his cameras and stuff. And then we'll concurrently upload it, I believe, to all of our channels. And then we had the tour, behind the scenes tour. Well, the museum had closed. And so we got that private tour, let's call it. Maybe not a behind the scenes tour, but a private tour.
Well, there really wasn't much behind the scenes that they could do.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little of both. She was able to stop and talk to us, and we were there. We had two. She said she was willing to stay there till 7, actually, but we just kind of finished up at 6. But so we got to ask whatever questions we wanted to. It was a very private tour, which is always amazing. I mean, I guess we're lucky that not only do we give private tours and have the opportunity to do that, but we also get to receive them.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a private tour of the Underground Railroad Museum in Niagara Falls.
Very nice.
The place was closed.
Very nice, and that's a great museum.
Unbelievable work. I know that FB Designs actually had a lot to do with designing that, and that's actually how I got in touch with them. But just if you live in the area, I mean, the museum, the exhibits are just beautiful looking exhibits.
Which if they live in what area?
If you live in the Niagara Falls, or if you're in Niagara Falls, it's in Niagara Falls. It's absolutely a stunning museum, just the aesthetic look of the way they did the exhibits.
Okay. Yeah, that's very true. I agree. I'm sorry, I'm kind of okay. So can we say, since this is the first time we're really able to engage with people on a deep level, let's kind of review for another 10 minutes. And then there's some questions coming up, these longer ones here. So let's kind of just summarize for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then let's just engage. And so we'll run through these questions that you guys are asking, and please ask us questions. Love having you guys here.
So just to keep you guys updated, this is a full episode. This is a full 2000 watch live, done at 2000 Eastern Standard Time, at least not for us, but for you guys, most of you. So yeah, we haven't done a 2000 watch in a while.
We haven't, and it was Steven's idea to do it tonight. If you saw on the community page, and we even did just a couple hours ago, we did that impromptu live about that we're going to go to Pier 70, but the weather was looking a little weird, and I mean, we didn't pack an umbrella, and and we just didn't.
And we have the entire day tomorrow.
And we we're going to try and do
Monday morning
what we can do tomorrow. So ask some questions. As I said, we'll kind of summarize. We still have, so really, we didn't get anything really done today, but it was a big travel day. So,
and we're doing a watch, so which is
and we're doing right, but yeah, in terms of visiting some things.
Right. Well, we did visit the Thrasher store, which was really cool. As two former skateboarders. Visiting Thrasher skateboard magazines. Because they're originally from San Francisco.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, no doubt about it.
It was cool, and the stuff they sold in there you can only buy in that store. You could buy Thrasher anywhere,
right?
But those products,
those designs,
just there, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And then, of course, you came across something else that you're really excited about.
I have.
But we should get to the.
Yeah,
but do what. Okay, so.
If there any of you are Joy Division or New Order fans, I wanted to see Peter Hook do a live Joy Division or New Order set for as long as he quit New Order and has been going out on his own, and we're walking past.
And he's the bass player from Joy Division and New Order.
So we're walking past and we see a marquee that says Peter Hook and the Light, September 10th, and I was like,
"You were very excited."
Yeah, I can't not. I mean, he's seen him already, so. I have to go, and it's an old Joy Division set, so you would have hated it.
Is it?
It
is. You saw setlist.fm or something?
I went to the Facebook page. It said a celebration of Joy Division.
Oh boy, no!
So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah,
Shane's wrong.
New Order, not Joy Division. Okay. Okay. So that he's very excited, and he's going to be leaving in a couple of hours to go to that, and I'm going to take a nice bath and read my Admiral's book or something.
And then we're gonna cuddle later.
Down in the clock bar.
But
if this was $6, you can imagine what a drink down there is going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
All
anyway,
right, let's get to this.
We're done. Yes. So then, Chicago.
We've been recapping all week.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's get to that book. You're right. We talked about the Sullivans a lot last night.
So,
Des Moines.
If you guys have questions or you want us to talk about something specifically, just wait a few minutes until because we don't want them to get lost, because we want to be able to answer all of your questions.
Yeah, because this is going to be this should be a real nice Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely.
While we've been gone.
So if you could just hold off on questions, this way they don't get lost and we don't miss them. This book was written by John R. Satterfield, Iowa local. I think they said Iowa, not Waterloo, but he was from Iowa.
Yeah, he was from Iowa.
The book is no longer in
print.
Yep, no longer in publication, which is we got our hands on a copy. It was very kind of the Sullivans, the Grout Museum, to give us a copy.
I wonder how it worked like that.
You could tell that there's only a few left because this is the one they had available for us.
Yes.
But the book is the way they described it was it gets a little deeper into it, more so than like a Hollywoodized Fighting Sullivans movie would, but it still shows respect to the family. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff in here. I had heard of the book, but I had never followed up with it, so it was nice that the Grout Museum gave us that, or the Sullivans Museum gave us this. And it does go into even a little some of their shady pasts a little bit. And by that I mean, a few of them were big drinkers. The dad was a big drinker, Tom. And so it talks a lot about their childhood and, how they got into trouble. And it's really summarizing what we learned yesterday. And yesterday. And then we'll be putting that in a video for you guys. So, it really felt this took us to a different level of not Sullivan's appreciation, but Sullivan understanding. To stand in the neighborhood that they grew up in, to drive by their house of their childhood home, not Adams Street, not 98 Adams, but another house that they had grown up in when they were almost toddlers, Yeah, but even standing at 98 Adams, right? You're picturing
totally.
you're
Totally.
you know, it's a park now, and it's a beautiful park, and it's and there's a memorial in the park. It's called Sullivan's Park, but there is off to the side. There is a rock, kind of like all by itself, and you have to walk over to it. And then on the back of the rock is a plaque, and the rock stands where the house stood. And then Dr. Bob was showing us exactly like where the house was, and just like you're seeing it, right? Like you're seeing like you're going back to the 1930s and
Totally.
1940s, and
And
you're
even the
seeing
street
everything
had
that's going on.
changed. Your battery is about ready to die.
It's okay. I'll plug it in.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, we're good for we're good. It's okay. It won't die.
really?
I promise.
My battery would be done in 10 seconds if that was the way it looked.
Well, you have like a Macintosh from 1983.
An Apple IIe, folks. Playing track and field and karateka.
So it's amazing the connections we're making to the Sullivans, though.
Yeah, that's right. To stand in, as Stephen just said, to stand in the neighborhood, to see the streets that they played on. We went from their home to the school, and you could see the route they took to go to school. It really, and then to read the letters, of course, and you guys are going to see all that on video. Just the letters,
and we have the transcripts.
And yeah, I saw that.
We have the transcripts
of some of the letters.
Yes.
And it was very cool. They were processing a new collection of photographs that they had gotten. They had an intern, and he was digitizing them into their digital collections. And these were like never before seen photos of the Sullivans. And so I hope that they make those available. And these were from a next door neighbor. I think it was about a next door neighbor, someone who lived down the Schraders that lived down the street.
Yeah. So the pictures are not public yet,
yeah, they're not
which
public.
Is why we're not going to release them. That's not our place to do that. That is, the Grout will be doing it. And hey, even more reason for you guys to check out the Museum of Waterloo, because what a beautiful museum.
It's a beautiful museum too. I mean, as we told our executive director, what they do with their budget is astoundingly amazing.
Yeah, it's unreal. I mean, they figured it out, and that's great because it is. You walk in, and it's just, it's absolutely beautiful.
And they have a P-51 hanging there, like we have a P-39 Airacobra, and of course I'm rattling the saber. Oh, P-51s, where were those built? Buffalo, right?
Yeah,
Curtis Wright, the two Curtis Wright plants on Vulcan and Elmwood.
And then so tomorrow, I know we've beaten this horse to death, but tomorrow we are going to the Hornet, which has another Sullivan's connection because, as you know, did sail with the Hornet.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and the O'Brien.
What about?
I know the O'Brien's not
it's a Liberty ship.
It's a Liberty ship, right? But wasn't the Juneau and the O'Brien together too at some point?
Oh, I would have to research that.
I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But still, that Sullivan's history is still popping up. And it's funny because I always say whenever I go somewhere, I always run into a connection to the city of Buffalo. Always. Okay. And it's like right now we're doing that with the Sullivans.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. And then Hinza, is going to be part of the discussion as well.
Yes, it will be a long discussion.
Oh, I lost my vocal.
You did?
I must have shut it off.
Anyway, okay.
No, so I'm back vocally. Could you guys even hear what I was saying, or was I just talking to Shane?
And hey, Hoist.
Hey, Hoist, how you doing, man? Hoist has been, keeping track with us and kind of getting some behind the scenes.
Yeah, he's been good. He's been giving us the hookups. That's so nice of you. He travels around a lot too. So
we have our shirts on.
Yeah, should I model the back?
Yeah, model the back, I'll model the front. Okay. So the front of the shirt, Buffalo Naval Park 2000 watch, U.S. tour. Wait, is that what it says? What does it even say? Oh, 2000 watch with Shane and
USA
Steven.
Tour 2022.
Yeah, and then on the back, it has so anyone that sees the back of these shirts, they can actually scan that, and it will go to our YouTube page. And then we got Bay City, Chicago, Waterloo, San Francisco, which is we're right here on this day, San Francisco, and then Honolulu, and then I had to add Buffalo on the back there when we get home. Yeah.
So Yeah, there's going to be a lot of video coming out, a lot of content. In our impromptu one a few hours ago, we said we'd get the Edson up sometime next week while we're at the conference.
We're hoping
maybe
Monday.
But
yes, John, we do, and we saved an autograph for you. John asked if we're signing autographs.
Oh man, the QR code has been going nuts, man. I hear people clicking, taking photos of it all the time. I'm kidding. So let's get to some questions. If you guys got some questions,
all right, yeah.
We've been updating you every night or sometime, and so we don't want to just roll on and make it boring. And I know we're kind of lacking in videos now. We're almost doing nothing but live sessions now. But we have Ken. We're gonna have a lot of stuff from yesterday. That's just lovely.
So Tony says, Battleship New Jersey volunteer here. Thanks for tuning in, Tony.
Hey,
if you're in San Francisco, the Buena Vista.
Sure.
I should know. I go to Disney World enough. That's where it is. Buena Vista, Florida.
Oh. Huh?
Okay, so there's a cafe, home of the original Irish coffee with little Tullamore Dew whiskey, but only enough to be preservative, of course. That would sound fantastic if either one of us drank coffee.
That's true.
Neither one of us.
I'll just take the Tullamore Dew.
Yeah, I'll take the Tully. That's fine with me.
There's a couple questions up higher, and that's what kind of there's some long, like these maybe up here. Yeah, Markham 11. I wasn't able to read it, but
if you, and I do apologize. I'm gonna make this easier for Shane and myself. If you did ask a question earlier, can you please just re-ask it, and we will try to get to every single one. So John from the Slater, did you ask about the torpedo? We did ask about the torpedo, and Vula did not know.
I got to really go back in my brain. I mean, even though it was just 2 days ago or something, it seems much longer. So we brought up your email again, John. Now, John had asked us a question. John App, curator of the Slater, had asked us a question when we were going to U505 about does whoever you're going to speak to have a story of the Slater taking or bringing a German torpedo from the Bahamas, Bermuda, right? Was it Bermuda? Bermuda, to Virginia. And so I knew that question popped up, and when we had her, and I don't know if I think we got it on film.
Yes, we did.
Okay, thank you. So she did not know, but the sub was sent there, and then they started to work on it. One of the questions that I had that I would like to explore more was, how did the capture of U505, did it change anything of the way that we targeted German U-boats just for that last year from 44 to 45, right? Did they learn something from it? It's like you get an Enigma machine, but if you can't do anything with it, it doesn't change the outcome. So I was very interested in learning if that capture led to changing of tactics by either destroyer escorts or PTs, or any just aerial bombing, things like that. And she didn't really seem to know, but that was an in-depth question, so I wouldn't expect her to have that just right off the top of her head. But she wasn't familiar with that story specifically, but she said it wouldn't surprise her because they were working on it at that time. So
all right, MPK. So why are you guys in San Francisco? I've not been following. Long story short, there's a HINSA conference every year, Historical National Ships Association. This year it's in at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. So we were going to go, and Shane had this brilliant idea to drive part of the way. And I said, you know what? That's a brilliant idea. And somehow it all fell into place. So we decided to drive to Bay City, Michigan, the USS Edson, Chicago for the U505, Waterloo for the Sullivan family, Des Moines for a plane out of Iowa, and San Francisco, Pier 70, USS Hornet, In-N-Out Burger, and Peter Hook and the Light.
There you go, dude. Yeah, you're excited. Now, I saw New Order in 1988, I believe, in Buffalo. They were touring with man, there was one summer at that year. It was just great. Sugar Cubes, PIL, The Squeeze, New Order, Echo and the Bunnymen, who's one of my faves. Anyway, now we're getting really off track here. So, but thank you.
But Hoist brings up a good point. Alameda, which is where the Hornet is. The whole thing is the Bay Area. If you're familiar with this area, San Francisco, Oakland,
No.
San Jose, Berkeley, it's all kind of in this same area. Alameda is where the Hornet is. I think Alameda is the county, maybe.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
We got Classic Bob from Idaho. Hey, man.
That Classic Bob from Idaho.
How are we feeling?
Who's that from?
CC.
Hello, CC. Yeah, it's like a whirlwind, really. I mean, honestly, we've probably been averaging 4 hours of sleep a night, probably, and we've been getting up early. And like last night, we got into Des Moines at about 11 or so. We did a live session, and then
15 of you showed up, which is awesome.
Yeah,
because it was like
great.
After midnight in New York. So
and so to give you an example, we probably fell asleep at like 12:30, and then we had to get up at 4, and then right to the airport. A flight from Des Moines to Denver, layover in Denver to San Francisco. Boom. So, and then we've just been awake all day, and it's 5:30 here right now. So it's just
our time is just totally off. We sleep when we can.
Yeah, we slept a little bit on the plane today, but thank you. I mean, it's going great. We get energized during the day because we're doing stuff and we're learning stuff and we're bringing you guys stuff. And then all of a sudden, like at night, it just, for me, being almost 50 years old.
Do you remember the second night? It was the first night in Chicago. I'm like, let's go grab a beer. And you're like, all right, let me finish something. And then by the time you finished it, which was probably like 3 minutes later, I was out cold.
He was already asleep.
Woke up in the middle of the night and all my clothes still on top of the blankets.
So I brought a bottle of beer and poured it on his head to wake him up.
And it was delicious. All right, I want to get real quick.
Please,
Mark
Mark
M11. He had mentioned. I noticed this up at the top earlier. And hey guys, thanks for been watching the channel for a while. I volunteer with the Central Terminal to help preserve and restore that building. Shane, you gave me and our guys a tour last year. Not sure if you remember.
Oh yeah, no, I remember giving the tour to like the docents. They were the docents at the Central Terminal. There was maybe about 12 of you or something, if I'm remembering right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Hi. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it.
John, so you bring up a really good point. Are you coming back by way of Galveston? We're actually flying home from Hawaii. So we're flying directly. Well, not directly, but there's layovers. But we're flying home from Hawaii to Buffalo. So we won't be driving back after the trip. I think
you might be asking about the Texas too.
Right. And so we are coming home. I think my wife might divorce me if I stayed another week. And I think I might divorce me if I stay another week. No.
Yeah, we've been following as long with a lot of people at the USS Texas website and getting those updates from Travis. And
it's funny though, because you remember when we first started planning this a few weeks ago, we had 2 routes picked out. One was a northern route,
God, which
is what we decided to do. It made more sense for us. The other was a southern route, which went down to Little Rock, Arkansas.
That's right.
New Orleans, and then Corpus Christi, Galveston. So we were going to go through there, and then the Texas wouldn't even be there. Well, it would be in Galveston at the dry dock. But,
yeah. That's right. That would have been a lot.
And then we would have flown from Corpus Christi to San Diego and done San Diego, which is another great naval area. But yeah, we chose this route, and I think it was the right choice.
For right now, it's the right choice. That would have been, you know how big those states are down there.
Oh, man. I don't think I'm welcome in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Although I do have a John Deere. I do have a John Deere belt buckle. And not like a green and yellow one. It's like an old school, like all like
gold or
no, like all silver.
Oh,
it's very nice.
Very nice. Yes.
Would you guys ever consider a trip to Guadalcanal to pay your respects?
Holy shit. Now that would be a trip of a lifetime. I've looked at it on Google Maps, because there's some pictures. Same with Midway. You can kind of zoom in a little bit. There might be one of those little blue dots where you can drop the dude, and then there's like one photograph. I think on Midway there's still the airplane hangars. Some of the airplane hangars.
Just hold on. MPK has to go. So thanks for tuning in, MPK.
Thanks for being here. And love what you're doing with the Central Terminal. That was the Central Terminal.
Yes, Central Terminal.
Yeah. So, I mean, I mean, that would be an absolute trip of a lifetime. I don't know how we'd get there. Usually, all my personal travel has always been east to Europe.
Mine's usually just north across the border, but this is
Clifton Hill, baby.
This has been. It was an opportunity of a lifetime.
This was, and it absolutely is still an opportunity, and we are, we're relishing every moment. We're building connections. We're learning about things that we didn't know before, and we hope that you guys enjoy that content as well, because that's why we are doing it too.
Yeah. Hoy said he would go with you
to Guadalcanal.
Yeah, I might sit that one out.
No.
Too much flying. Can we take a boat? Can we take a boat?
Yeah, maybe
we took a car halfway to Hawaii, right?
Yeah. And then we'll get in a rowboat.
So John Dugan says, I tricked my wife into letting me fly down and watch her sail by the Texas City dike. That's great, John.
Nice.
Hoist, you should do this every year. Call it professional development. Steve, you got to go too. I don't know about every year. Maybe every other year.
Well, yeah, this was not a cheap trip.
No. And we were talking about this before. Yep. April was just so draining on us. And the whole summer was just draining on everybody. And we finally kind of got our feet back on the ground and we're like, hey, let's go on a road trip.
I know.
So, yeah, again, it's been an experience of a lifetime. But I think maybe in the future, trips like this will be, to Waterloo for a few days or something like that.
Yeah, right. The speed that we are doing this is the only detriment, right? We don't have a lot of time in each town, and that's, I guess, just how we set it up.
Right. And the way it worked out, we only had 7 hours in Waterloo, which was, I guess if I could change anything, I would go back and kind of rearrange it so we were in Waterloo for probably a full 2 days. That's the only regret I have about the way I planned it. It just, with flights and driving and time and everything like this, I had to piece everything together like a puzzle, and it just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know at least for me, if we were to do something again in the near future, it would absolutely be back to Waterloo. What a town, what a little town. We come from Buffalo. Waterloo's a world away.
It is, but you know what? I'd like to say, they're like sister cities, industrial. They've fallen on hard times. But even just the industries are just so disparate, They
are a little similar to Buffalo, though, I feel like, because you're always pointing out, it's like, oh, that's a Buffalo company, or this started in Buffalo. And a few times they said the same thing about Waterloo or places in Iowa.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But it yeah, it was a really nice city, and the people were so nice.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, and of course the Maid-Rite sandwich. Even the people at the Maid-Rite were nice, and the museum staff is second to none. Please, if you have any interest in the Sullivans, totally go visit that museum. It is, again, I was floored. They have nice Juno artifacts from the ship, and you learn about that in the video. Mm-hmm. Just much more than I expected in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
they have an exhibit on Iowa food.
Yeah,
then they have,
and it's similar to what we do, right? We're very, we're all veterans and all military and all naval, but we do take pride in our Buffalo hometown, and they are the same way with Iowa, which I loved. I loved that they did that. Couple things, John Epp. First, hold on, let me go to Cam. Cam, you can share it with anyone you want, not just in Chautauqua County. You can share it with the world. You have our permission.
Hey, awesome video. It's cool. Yeah, absolutely, Cam.
And then so John says, how many hands at conferences? This will be my first, John, but this will be
my third. So Manitowoc 19, COVID was 20, 21 was Albany,
Alabama.
Did I say Albany?
You should.
Yeah, no. I'm sorry.
And you didn't even
Alabama.
Stop by and see John when you were in Albany.
Don't say that. No, but Shanna was there. That's why, John, you need to get down. And we need that curator connection. I'd like to sometimes think that the executive directors kind of start to huddle over that a couple of days, and the maintenance guys kind of huddle over it. But I haven't built that really with the curators. A few of them, but
It's been great working with John. I love this thing we
yeah,
got going
and
on.
Ken.
And Ken, yeah, of course.
Oh, let me get the shirt.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
Or
Yeah.
do we want to?
Well, we are gonna. Should we? Yeah, let's show him.
We'll show.
We'll show him. Well, we are gonna wear it in Hawaii.
And
so.
we have John's, right? Do we have John's?
I do it, John. It is with me. I'm going to mail it from the road. We just kind of left, and I didn't get to. So we have these polo shirts.
Museum Ship Mafia for our live 2000 with Ken Stano and John Epp. And then don't give out the ship?
Don't give up the ship. So we have these polos that Ken generously made for us.
Yeah, he made
and
them.
Then we also have t-shirts as well. Similar, same thing on the front. On the t-shirts, the back is it's just the font, or if you will, from the original flag on the Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
So
so this will be coming to you, John, and please tune into those. It's going to be a very interesting conference this year. Other questions we have? I don't want to just go off in that direction here, but
yeah, I mean, it's a lot of different conversations with each other about airplanes.
That's cool.
A question on perspective: do you guys take the view that the ships happen to be museums, or that they are museums that happen to be ships? I ask because I remember going on the USS Intrepid and being appalled. They had red carpet all over the hangar deck. I mean, that's a loaded question.
These are...
You go first, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can review. That's interesting. I say, from my perspective, I would like them to be active museum ships. Now, that might just be a little wonky question and answer. What we also say is what's important to us, and I've been trying to do it for the past 4.5 years, is to build the authenticity of the ships. So I want someone, you'll hear the phrase quite a bit from us and other people that, when a visitor comes on board, it's like the crew just left an hour before you came on board. I want more artifacts of human.
The 505 was very much like that.
It was, yeah, it kind of was. They had some clothing.
I also think the Croker is too, though. I don't think you give yourself enough credit there with the Croker.
We did a lot of work with the Croker.
Yeah.
But we have to. I wanted to get an ironing board in there, and hang the boxer briefs. So authentic ships that are now museums, and then through the ships you tell the story, right? So it's a slow moving. There's a lot of inertia. It's been, for the Buffalo Naval Park, it's been 43 years of not thinking of the ships like that, and not having the staff. So if the old Vietnam guys would say, hey, we want to come on Little Rock and build an exhibit, the old staff would say, we can't do that, so go right ahead, right? And so they build an exhibit and it has nothing to do with the ships. They don't know about that. They don't know how to do that, right? Because they didn't go to school for it or whatever. And so there's a lot that we need to do, but activities of daily living is the phrase that I like to use. I want to show more activities of daily living on that. So hopefully that answers your question. We can also always get into how then museum ships, being active museum ships, change the condition and the water tightness of the ships, as we've talked about for the Sullivans, and most ships have changed them to make it more comfortable for the visitor. So, and that's what we did, and that's part of the reason we got.
I'll add to that. I think myself, at least. So, like when we went to the Edson, like that's the ship, that's the museum, right? Like you're walking into the museum, but like I guess the naval park is a little skewed in a way because we have 3 ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 ships. We have the PTF boat. We have the jets. We have a museum building. So to me, I almost see the ships as these humongous, priceless artifacts. You know, so
like what would we lose if we lost something?
right.
Right, and so that's how I view it, and we've
Well-
talked about that. Like, what would change our philosophy if we lost it? Our mission.
I'd like to think like okay, I'll make a good comparison that I think is a good comparison. If the Buffalo Naval Park lost the Sullivans, it would be similar to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History losing the Hope Diamond, right?
I would agree.
You're gonna walk
It
in there
alters your
right.
the existence of the museum. But if we said we lost our museum building,
It would still be
it would
we would
still
have
be
a museum.
yeah,
right.
and that's how we should that's how we should create the checklist. If we lost it, does it absolutely change the direction? If we lose the Voodoo, or we lose the Fury, or the Bulldog, the or the M41, the tanks, the Bulldog tanks, if we lost those, does that change our mission?
Right. So we had a good question, and I'm going to let you handle this one. What year? Let me find it actually, because I don't want to read it in the wrong way. Okay, so Michael Phillips says, I
Hey,
was
Mike.
always amazed at ships that served through different periods. Which period of the ship's history do you represent? So I'm thinking like what our ships, what years they were. So I'll let you handle this one.
Okay. Again, Mike, thanks. That is a great question. Talking about inertia, the iceberg is in front of us. Can we slow it down in time? We had never considered the ships like that before. And it's something that I talked a lot with Roseanne from the USS Kidd, the soon to be retired, if not already retired, executive director of the Kidd.
Shout out to Parks.
Shout out to Parks, right? And congratulations to him and the Kidd. But we've never done that before. All right. And so people who are also in this industry say you should pick a time period. Excuse me. You should pick a time period and roll with it. And that ship becomes that time period. I've tinkered with the Croker and the Sullivans being the World War II story, Little Rock being the Cold War story. But even the Croker and the Sullivans are not in their original World War II configurations. So they were active. They did damage to the enemy. But we can't change the Croker back into original Gato configuration. She's an SSK. So do we also say, well, should we need to talk about the Cold War and what they did tracking Russians and enemy freight? So we have a little different problem in the sense that our ships are configured for different time periods. And then even when they came here, we got other pieces and artifacts also representing different time periods. Now, what I would love to do is I would love to get the 01 level. Oh, better get your battery. I'd love to get the 01 level of the Sullivans, say in a 1959 configuration. All right, but that requires getting 2 more 3-inch 50s, removing the Bofors that are up there between the stacks. We have the torpedo, the triple torpedoes from the ASW configurations. So now I don't mean to get a little wonky, but get wonky. So it's a question we're still working on ultimately, is to, here we've got something, sorry.
We got like 15 minutes.
It's right here though.
I'm just looking.
Yeah,
Is there one right there?
Yeah, there's well, they might be. Yeah, go ahead. Ooh. There, you might have to unplug something, but unplug the TV. Sorry, everyone, we have to plug in the battery. And while this is a beautiful hotel, there's kind of a dearth of outlets. So, but thank you. I hope that helps. I'm still working on it, and there's a lot of people that agree, and there's a lot of people that don't agree. So, or they don't understand it. So it's my job to sell it better as well. So, thank you. Great. That makes a lot of sense. You're welcome. Thank you. Michael Phillips, is Parks joining Museum Ship Mafia?
I can't speak for parks myself,
Right.
but I will say that I can't imagine it being an easy job to, transitioning and moving and everything. But as far as we're concerned, he's always welcome on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's some talk about making him a permanent member of the team or bringing him on, every other session or something. So we haven't really fully worked that out yet. Is that your plug?
Yeah, why?
Oh my God. I thought that was USB plug or something.
Well, it's a USB-C.
Oh boy. Okay,
I actually stole that from my kid's Chromebook from school. Sorry, Brody. It was like 2 years ago.
Nothing beats the 1940s look with the 20s and 40s. I get it. Hulk Hogan tights. That's right. I haven't seen your handle in a long time.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, but that's true. But I'd love to get the 2 more 3-inch 50s back. Those are pretty sweet to look at as well. And now the 01 level, and then, of course, the 02 level a little bit would then be full 1959-61 configuration. The main deck, that's a mess because we got the 20 millimeters after we had come here. So someone, mainly Marvin Curry as first superintendent, worked to secure Orlikins for the Sullivans. And now what am I going to say? Oh, let's get rid of them because they didn't have those in 1961, right? So it's a grappling process, or it's something that I'm grappling with in the process, and I love it. It's theoretical with concrete application, but it's a theoretical process. What if we do this? What if I do this? What if we do this? So it's really batting at that upper level idea level that I really like. So
Greg, dry dock status, we're still in a
Thank you,
holding
John.
pattern. We have our naval architect coming, and that will really tell us a lot more. I know that everyone wants to know, ourselves included. So, we're really excited to get the naval architect in there.
That should be coming later this month.
Yeah. So
we've been out of the loop a little bit, but.
And I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, we probably won't have any idea until probably around Thanksgiving, if then. So again, I know it's hard. It's hard for us, but any new updates, of course, we're going to give you guys. So, just hang with us.
We'll
Greg.
do one of those Sullivan updates.
And I know that's see, even Mark says, I was wondering that myself. It's a very common question, and it's a good question. It's a great question because we all want to know her fate.
Yes, absolutely. We know she's not going to go anywhere.
Correct.
But what is the fate next? Coffer temporary coffer permanent coffer dry dock.
I know I said this briefly the other day, but man, the way they did the U-505, could you imagine a Sullivan's Hall like that?
You did say that.
Could you imagine something like that? Just an entire building of just Sullivans and the ship inside there. And, they made a good point because the U-505 was outside until 2004, but, Chicago and Buffalo have very similar weather, both Great Lakes cities. And, they couldn't keep the U-505 out there anymore, and they made the decision to bring her inside.
And they built the building around. Yeah.
And if you haven't been there, it is an unbelievable sight. Don't
knock it till you try it, because Steven said, hey, this would be really kind of cool for the Sullivans. And I mean, you're walking right as if you've watched those we did a live update, right? And I talked about the pitting and stuff. And someone raised a good question about like that pitting is too low to be the water line. Well, it's up here kind of, and the perspective is different. And it's a smaller ship than a Gato. It's a smaller boat than a Gato, but that was a very valid point. But to me, that has to be the pitting because it looks identical to ours. So, but to be able to walk up right to the hull and see the keel, and then of course they had like blue lights underneath that made it look like waves. If you were to say never take it out of water or don't put it in a building and go see the U-505 first, and then see. And I'm not saying I'm not a proponent of it unless I had to be and pushed, but that really was very special to see in person. And then the whole floor, the whole exhibit is Sullivan's related. Mm-hmm. And they had interactive digital games and things like that. So I'll
actually, when we're done with this live in about 20 minutes or so, I will post some cool angles of the ship. You could see the cradle itself. You could see the length of it, like looking down
Longitudinally.
Right. Yeah. So from the bow to the stern, it's absolutely.
You better get to the concert, Bowie.
It's only 5:50.
You're right.
Got 2 hours.
Yeah. Other questions? Guys, thanks for sticking with us. This is fabulous.
Yes, Hoist. They did let us take pictures and video, and that is coming soon. Like we said, we're going to go with the Edson first. It's very possible I get the U505 out before we're back from Hawaii, because the Sullivans one is going to be really something special. And we really, not that any of the other ones, we put a lot of effort into doing these, and we want to make sure we get everything in there. But the Sullivans video is obviously close to our heart. It's a big chunk of this trip, so there's going to be a ton of footage. Some that we will still probably be getting tomorrow. So we're, as most of these videos, 15, 20 minutes, we're looking at a longer 45-minute-ish video for the Sullivans one. So
we hope that you guys stick around for that, and that you watch every minute of it, I mean, it's just moving. It's just moving. It's just,
that's the only way to describe it.
Yeah, it's moving. And then, I think it was Joseph writing to the motorcycle gang that he was a part of, and he's saying, hey, how's this person? How's this person? How's this person? I miss you all.
The audio.
Yeah, the audio, which we didn't get on film, right? You took
No,
photo?
I did not take that because some of it was not released
It's
yet.
not released yet, so you don't want the audio.
We got to hear a couple of the boys talking, Genevieve singing, Genevieve practicing things, and it, like, listening to their real voices. Like, it was unreal.
Yeah,
so cool. Like, and it's so funny because I'm thinking too, and like, what it reminded me of when we're listening to Genevieve singing was in It's a Wonderful Life, after they fall in the pool at the school dance.
I never saw the movie.
My goodness. And she starts singing Buffalo Girls, When You Come Out Tonight.
Oh, does she?
And the way she was singing, and like you could tell they were just hanging out, and she's singing.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm like, I felt like I was in a fake Frank Capra movie for a second. It was.
And Genevieve, she recites. She was going off and doing a speech at a war production factory, and they have her rehearsing the speech, and so that gives pristine insight into that time period of what she was thinking and what the family was going through. And at some point, Nick, the registrar at the Grout, who spent so much time with us, along with Dr. Bob and Pat and Mike, and
there was something so familiar about them too. I know that like we really might have talked to them, but like
no, kindred spirits based around the brothers.
Yeah,
I mean that's as soon as you said that, and we hadn't talked about that before, but it's like boom, you walk into a room, you say hello, you introduce yourself, and all of a sudden we're all talking about the Sullivans and adding our little bits. Because as maybe I said last night or something, like we really focus on 43 and afterwards with the stories about the boys. They focus on 1920 right up to 42, right up to November.
And then we kind of take it from there.
And that's how we want to build that bridge a little bit and combine those stories a little bit more. So,
all right, I'm going to jump in. We have a few minutes left, guys. So, John from the Slater, these feature videos that you guys made for all three of your ships, are you guys filming and editing of those, or is that a third party? Those, I'm assuming you're talking about like the 5-minute ones that we've been releasing. We just released the Croker one. Those are third party, so we do have input on them. We provide the script basically,
photographs,
and then we have another documentary coming out next in November. That is also third party, but we're much more heavily involved with the making of that one. And then
we have a Little Rock one coming out, the professionally done Little Rock.
So, and they're beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. We love working with third parties, and they capture the essence that we want them to. So it's been it's been a very great relationship with the people that we work with. Shane, what kind of camera do you shoot for Naval Park videos? So we do have a Sony Handycam.
That's what I use. Like when I'm holding a camera and we're doing this, look over here.
Actually, we're usually in front of this camera. I can actually show
right. So that's what I use is the Handycam when I'm on board. I have a little Sony Handycam, but the camera that Steven uses is something.
So it's Panasonic. It's a prosumer, which is
get it into the camera.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's a Panasonic X1500. It's a prosumer camera. There's a newer model out, the X2000, but this does the job. It's great. I mean, we have fun with this, and we stream right from this camera.
And we really needed something like this, and you were the impetus of that.
Yeah,
right? You did the research. You said what we needed and what we wanted, and you advocated for it, and now you sniff it it's a newborn.
I'm not smelling
baby.
it. I'm just.
Yeah, you're smelling it like a newborn baby.
I wasn't smelling it.
It's my baby.
Now. Yeah, so this thing's fun. It's not too heavy. It picks up, I mean, even when we're not using these mics, it picks up great audio. So we're very happy with this purchase.
Moving things inside is being okay. So did people comment on the inside stuff?
Again? Okay, let's see. Moving things inside is being used more. Sub in Chicago, Saturn B in Houston, both turned out pretty good. Can the Sullivans 5-inch turn manually still?
Can a Sullivans 5-inch manually turn? The only one that I have gotten working is Mount 52 on the 01 in front of the bridge next to the hedgehogs. And we haven't rotated it that far, maybe about 40 degrees relative. And then we have wires in there and stuff in the gearing. So that's the only one that we've actually gotten moving. That doesn't mean if we asked a professional to come in and do it, that we could not do it. But for us and our staff, we get out those beautiful cranks and we just start cranking.
Yeah.
And then we elevated the gun a little bit. And that was for the tall ships in 2019. I talked to John Branning. I said, we got to do something because there's going to be 120,000 people walking down here in 4 days. So I said, let's do something to make the ship look a little different. And so we rotated it a little bit, and then about 40 degrees maybe, and then we elevated the gun a little bit more. I don't remember the angle, but it's more than it was.
Yeah. Scott, I'll be coming up this fall for visits to you guys. That's awesome. Let us know ahead of time, too, so we can be ready for you and hook you up and talk to you and everything. Chopper said, oh, hey, Chopper from Australia.
Oh,
hey, Chopper.
We're closer to you.
We will be. We will be. Not yet. Not quite yet. We will be, though. Hi, Shane and Steven, tuning in from Australia, enjoying the updates of your road trip. Great. And some awkward sign-offs. The other night when we were with Ken and we did our impromptu live.
He loved that sign-off.
Because Shane was literally having a problem signing off. And
I had never done it on your phone.
And Ken is just standing there staring at him. I don't know if you could see it, but he's staring at him and he's looking at me and he goes, I can't believe I'm seeing it in real life. It's really happening.
Yeah, because he always makes fun of our sign-offs and he's like, I can't believe this is happening right in front of me. I'd never used your phone.
John said it was Oscar worthy. So
thank you.
Yeah.
John F. You're nice. Thank you. Other things before. So tomorrow, Pier 70. Hopefully the Hornet. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Hoist the Jack. I did reach out to Russell just to see if we can at least meet. Again, I don't know his schedule. We didn't know if it would be Saturday or Sunday, but
they did have a big event today on the Hornet. That's why we chose not to do the Hornet today.
Was it brats? Was it a brat day or like making hot dogs or brats or something?
It was like a cornhole and beer and like beer fest. Like it sounded really cool.
Brats and beer.
We looked it up yesterday and we were like, maybe not the Hornet on the day that there's drunk cornhole.
And that then gets back to someone said they went. Was it maybe the Intrepid and the flight deck was all carpeted? Listen, there are some, and we have this discussion too. This is great. I'm sorry we're getting into it so late. There is, I believe, a constant questioning of what do we become as a naval park? Do we want to be an attraction? Do we want to be a very authentic museum? Right. And I think a lot of museum ships are having that discussion internally, and we are.
I think a lot of museums in general are, especially post-COVID. A lot of museums closed and never reopened up. And I think that the ones that did are really looking for new ways. And we're in a weird generation. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. This new generation of Gen Alpha or whatever you'd like to call it. These little kids, they're just they grew up different than us, right?
Yeah.
They're born into this technological world by no fault of their own. So really, we're looking at other ways to keep up with that too, right? I mean, we can't stick to the way things were done in the 1920s or the 1980s or whatever. Like, we have to evolve as our visitors evolve, because they have an idea of what they want to see. And then you see the bigger museums do it ahead, like they do it, and a lot of times not we personally, but smaller museums follow suit because they have the millions of dollars to do the marketing and the planning and the RFPs and RFQs and figure it out what works and what doesn't. So in a sense, that helps us, right? We can follow some of these models. And I can tell you right now, I took notes and notes and notes this week on what other museums were doing. The Edson, the U505, the Grout Museum, like so many notes that I have that I'm like, oh, we could do this, or we can model it off of this. And it's like, that's great. And I hope that people come and see us and say that too.
Yeah, right. It's always good to self-question. It's always good to do a SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Is there too much? There's a philosophy that having too many screens is not good. People want to go back. They've been on the screen so gosh darn much. I see you.
Yeah. Real quick, Michael, you could bring up a great point. And I didn't even think to look that up, but the San Francisco, the bridge is on display here in San Francisco, the USS San Francisco, which was there.
Oh,
yeah, during the sinking of the Juneau.
Like, is it the mast? Or...
He says bridge is on display somewhere in the city. We'll take a look. I'll look it up and see.
That.
We're definitely have to do the car thing, I think.
Oh boy.
We'll figure it out. So many things. Bryce, what a great point you make there. Biggest thing I love about the ships is you can touch them, walk through them, actually experience them, much more than just looking at something behind glass. Absolutely. I mean, we're lucky that we work in a museum like we do.
Yeah,
you experience it, and that goes back.
Someone else said that.
That goes back to what you say. You want that authentic look. Yeah. Right? You want people to walk in and the crew make it look like the crew just walked off, and we can offer that to people
if we set a direction and we stay with it. Yeah, absolutely.
So let's see. John F. says our namesake was killed on the San Francisco, November 12th, 1942. He shot down a plane and it crashed into his gun.
Jeez.
Yeah. All right, listen, guys. It is after 6, so we are gonna wrap it up. It's good to get back.
It is.
Do an episode.
Yeah.
I know we've been doing these pop-up 10-minute episodes, but this was good.
Yeah.
And the time always flies.
So. And this was his idea to do this. And we will be doing it from Hawaii. And
we'll definitely be doing a full 1 hour
2000
watch from Hawaii.
Not Museum Ship Mafia.
And
not yet.
It could be longer than an hour. Who knows what's going to happen in Hawaii? Because everyone's like, oh, you get to go to Hawaii, and it's like, no, we get to go to Pearl Harbor. We get to go to the Missouri. You know what I mean? Like for
both
us, right? Arizona. We get to that's what it is. So we could be there and just be in awe, right? And then just talk, and you guys would listen and ask questions, and it would be great. So we will be doing an episode of the 2000 Watch from Hawaii. Date and time to come, preferably 2000.
We'll use oh my God, which would be noon or 2 p.m.
Oh, geez, yeah, it would be 2 o'clock. All right, so.
But we also are at a conference, and so it's going to be a whirlwind. We will Steven's going to be meeting all these people for the first time. I'm going to try and rekindle relationships that you haven't seen people from a year ago. And then bouncing ideas off each other. Face to face, we do this. You should try that. Why don't we?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to learning, bringing that stuff back with me, and implementing it into my department, if you will.
And it'll be so nice to see Ryan again.
I've never met Ryan, so I'm looking forward to meeting Ryan.
Yeah, he's been a real advocate for us this year, and just to thank him in person will be great. And look at what he's done with the Texas, being down there and. Hey guys, it's 5 a.m. Hey guys, it's 8 a.m. Hey
Yeah.
guys, it's 2 p.m. That sort of thing.
Cam likes our t-shirts. Thanks, Cam. Michael, yeah, you said it. That's the mindset of an able historian, not Hawaii, but Pearl Harbor in Missouri. All right, we're gonna get going,
we could
guys.
do this all night,
I know,
but
we
he
could.
needs to go to a concert.
It's not for 2 hours. I don't have to
Radio live transmission. New order number 1, baby. All right, guys.
There is no new order without Joy Division.
Okay, not offline, sir, if you want to do this. Let us know what your favorite band is from your era, whatever that might be.
Let's put that as a poll. How about that? Put it as a poll on the community page. What is your favorite band? Doesn't have to. You want to do era?
But don't we have to have? Don't we have to have like choices then?
No.
We do. Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to list like.
All right, how
4.
about we just ask a question and then they can comment their favorite band?
Sounds
do we
great.
want to pick an era or a genre, or do we just want to be like, no, go for it?
Yeah, because everyone's all different ages.
Yeah,
And maybe Sam made it. We met a great kid named Sam yesterday.
Oh, Sam, yeah,
yeah, the intern. Sam.
Lego History Sam, I think.
Is it Lego History Sam? He's a young kid.
I'm not sure if that's definitely his handle, but he follows us on the 2000 Watch Instagram. Kid is a genius, and he is going places. So if you could find him through our Instagram page, and if you know what, I'll just look it up and I'll post it. But kid was awesome.
Yeah, and he makes big Lego models.
Yeah, of the ships.
Yeah.
So, which is like really cool.
Him.
Yeah,
and he was very happy to meet
You could
us.
tell like he's younger, and you could tell he just has this absolute passion, and he's not gonna let it go. Like he will go places in this industry, which is great. Which is
we hope that he follows it.
Yeah,
because he's young. He might still be in high school or something, just getting out of high school.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's right about that age,
Oh,
like college.
Yeah, he's starting college, I think, or maybe his first year at a college right now. Anyway,
if you get a chance to check his stuff out, because I mean, people that build, Legos are cool. I do them with my kids, right? And how dare I build Legos with a 7-year-old? Legos are fun.
Dude, take it. Okay, take it.
Take what?
Take it. If you're gonna dish, take it. Go ahead.
That's what 7-year-olds do. They build Legos.
All
right. They're hard. They're not easy to do, but to do them from scratch, with just like a big pile.
That's true.
And
they get the right sizes and the right colors. Yeah, so he might even donate or put on loan he made a USS the Sullivans one, quite a large one. So we discussed maybe we'll put it on temporary display with his information.
Hoy says you just get an Uber and do everything tomorrow. We're going to need a sponsor just for our Uber payments because they are not cheap.
If this was $6 a can of Mountain Poo, we've already discussed maybe. Anyway, okay, this could be all offline stuff, but we want to be respectful of your time.
Somebody said it before. They're like, and now for the 20-minute sign off.
Did they really?
I forgot who it was.
Great.
Let's see. Who was that?
Okay, guys.
That was Bryce. Yeah.
Now let it begin.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Say goodbye. Go to bed. You're not going to do it?
Well, it's Saturday. He's not going to bed yet.
Oh, not 9 o'clock?
No, it's a weekend. He's got Legos to build. He's probably playing Fortnite.
Okay, very good. Bye, guys. We'll see you again soon.
Go to bed, Cash. But not really. You don't have to. Michael said you got to say it. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Well